Before there was Grogu or Baby Yoda, there was Yoda himself. And before Yoda turned into a CGI wizard that bounces off of walls, he was more of a spiritual teacher of the Force before he became a force for selling merchandise. In movies like The Empire Strikes Back, Yoda teaches some of the most amazing lessons that seem to have been derived from Buddhism, Taoism, and Stoicism. Want to hear Yoda drop some wisdom? If so, this video's for you. Welcome to the dojo. In the Star Wars movies, you often hear of the Force. One can make a lot of comparisons as to what the Force is, but in my book it mostly resembles the Tao in Taoism. It's a force that one learns to flow with. As a child of the first movie, I was pleasantly surprised when they released Empire Strikes Back a few years later, and me a few years older, and the wisdom of Yoda really caught me off guard. Here's what I consider to be the top 5 biggest pieces of wisdom dropped by Master Yoda. At number 5.
But how am I to know the good side from the bad?
You will know when you are calm, at peace, passive.
For thousands of years, mystics from all of the religions of the world have talked about learning to quiet the mind. As someone who didn't meditate until adulthood, I must admit that once I did start doing it, it changed my life. Blaise Pascal once said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." Wiser words have never been said. If you can spend just 15 to 20 minutes a day in silence with no other goal than to quiet the monkey brain, you'll find your decision-making process becomes much more lucid and much less motivated by fear and anxiety. But meditation doesn't have to be just sitting in the lotus position. I often use nature meditation. Meditation really is just setting your intention to be mindful in the moment you're in and quiet your mind to receive a higher wisdom from within yourself. At number 4.
All his life as he looked away to the future, to the horizon, never his mind on where he was.
This one resonates with me directly. As a young man, I was always looking toward the future. Heck, even in the beginnings of middle age, I always kept looking to the future and hoping and wanting and expecting. With age has come the wisdom to keep an eye on the future, but keep my feet firmly planted in the present moment. Lao Tzu once said, "If you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present." At number 3.
Jedi strength flows from the Force, but beware of the dark side. Anger, fear, aggression. The dark side of the Force are they. Easily they flow, quick to join you in a fight. If once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny. Consume you it will.
I love this one because it hits on one of the most potent lessons. The dark side is not stronger, but it is quicker, easier, and more seductive. It's why so many people with self-centered values find it so easy to embrace. I mean, why do the work when the work is so hard? Doing the right thing is difficult and often doesn't come with any reward other than knowing you did the right thing. At number 2. Now this one could easily be tied for first in my book. In Empire Strikes Back, Yoda creates an energy and Luke senses something is wrong.
There's something not right here. What's in there?
Only what you take with you.
A lot of people miss this one. Yoda is telling Luke that the only darkness that exists where he is headed is the darkness he takes in with him. In the end, Luke grabs his weapons, to which Yoda advises,
You will not need them.
but Luke is racked with doubt and takes them anyway. Upon destroying what he thought was his nemesis, it's revealed to Luke that it was only himself that he had destroyed. And finally, at number 1, this is a lesson that is so pertinent today. It's being demonstrated every day around the world, in the media, and on the streets.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Fear is the beginning of all darkness. When we fear something, when we don't realize that we are all connected, we demonize it. When we demonize someone, it gives us an excuse to justify any kind of terrible behavior because one should never make a deal with the devil. Yoda has ended up being one of my great teachers in life, and if you haven't seen particularly The Empire Strikes Back, I encourage you to check it out. When he speaks, listen, and after you listen, execute. Wisdom is there for the taking. You can find it in songs, books, movies, and even in everyday moments. If you like the wisdom of Yoda, you definitely need to check out the Eastern philosophy known as Taoism. Thankfully, I've got a video right here that'll get you up to speed. And may the Force be with you.